Hello guys, today's topic is about restriction travel, specifically if you wish to visit and out of Indonesia. During this pandemic period, every country has its own rule how to enter their territories. Now I just read out how to enter Indonesia, and this information you can get easily in Indonesian government website. And this update is on July 7th, 2021 and apply until further notice. The rule keep changing all the time and you need to check regularly before you travel to Indonesia. Okay guys, without any further ado, please listen to read out information. Foreigners regulated under the Minister of Law and Human Rights Regulation number 26, year 2020 as mentioned in travel eligibility. Foreigners using bilateral travel corridor arrangements, foreigners with consideration and a written approval from Indonesian ministry or agency. Passengers are not allowed to transit through Jakarta. International air travel is only allowed at airport in Jakarta, Surabaya, Lombok, Medan, and Manado. A visit visa to Indonesia and limited stay visa for Indonesian nationals are suspended until further notice. All non-Indonesian national who has been travel in India within the last 14 days of their arrival will not be allowed to enter Indonesia. Indonesian national who have been in India within the last 14 days of their arrival will be allowed entry through Jakarta, Surabaya, Lombok, Medan, and Manado airports, as well as Dumai, Tanjung Pinang, and Batam Seaport. Additionally, Indonesian citizens as well as foreigners must present a COVID-19 vaccine certificate, printed or digital, confirming that they have been fully vaccinated. This is also applicable to infants and children. Foreigners who do not meet these requirements will be not accepted for travel. Indonesian nationals who haven't received a COVID-19 vaccine abroad are permitted to travel. However, the vaccine will be administered in a quarantine facility upon arrival in Indonesia after receiving a negative COVID-19 RT-PCR test on day 7th of quarantine. Foreigners who are currently in Indonesia and wish to travel on domestic flight must have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. This is applicable to airports to Java and from Java Island as well as Bali Islands. This rule also applies to international flights if the passenger's journey starts with a domestic flight to or from Java or Bali Islands. Exemption to presenting a COVID-19 vaccine certificate are applicable to foreigners holding diplomatic and official visa relating to official state visit at ministerial level or above. Foreigners entering Indonesia using travel corridor arrangements based on a reciprocity principle with strict health protocols. Indonesia recognizes all COVID-19 vaccines as long as the vaccine is approved by the country in which it has been administered. Required forms. All passengers must download and fill the health form. A completed online form must be presented to authorities on arrival in Jakarta. Quarantine. Upon arrival in Indonesia, passengers must take another COVID-19 PCR test. Indonesian citizens with a negative test result may proceed to a mandatory 8-day quarantine at a government facility at no cost. Foreigners must proceed to a mandatory 8-day quarantine at a hotel approved by the Indonesian government at their own expense. Cost for hotel quarantine and COVID-19 PCR testing for Indonesian citizens is covered by government and only applicable for Indonesian overseas workers, Indonesian student, and Indonesian government employee returning from overseas duty. The head of foreign representative and family on duty in Indonesia can quarantine for 8 days at their own facility. For other diplomatic matters, the 8-day quarantine must be in a facility approved by Indonesian government, subject to cost. Another COVID-19 PCR test will be conducted after 7 days of quarantine. If the result is negative and after completing 8 days of quarantine at government approved hotel or facility, Indonesian citizens and foreigners will be allowed to continue off their journey. It is, however, recommended to self quarantine for 14 days. Passenger who test positive for COVID-19 on arrival or after the 8-day quarantine will be directed to a hospital for treatment. Hospital expenses for Indonesian citizens will be shouldered by the government, while foreigners must bear the expenses themselves. Passengers who test positive for COVID-19 on arrival or after the 8-day quarantine will be directed to a hospital for treatment. Hospital expenses for Indonesian citizens will be shouldered by the government, while foreigners must bear the expenses themselves. For foreign nationals who are unable to settle the cost of quarantine and or hospital treatment, their sponsor or the ministry or agency who process their approval for entry must shoulder the cost. Passengers on diplomatic visas, those who have visas related to official government visits on ministerial level or above, and foreigners nationals using travel corridor arrangements based on reciprocity principles following a strict health protocols are not required to undergo quarantine. Foreigners and Indonesians arriving from Pakistan, Philippines are required to quarantine for 14 days and must take an additional COVID-19 RT-PCR test on arrival, followed by another COVID-19 RT-PCR test on the 14th day of quarantine. Travel eligibility. Foreigners holding a valid visa and or stay permit are allowed to enter Indonesia. The following are the accepted categories of visa and or stay permit: official visa, diplomatic visa, visit visa, limited stay visa, official stay permit, diplomatic stay permit, limited stay permit, permanent stay permit. Foreigners holding a PEC business travel card are allowed to enter. Free visas and visa on arrival are currently suspended until the COVID-19 pandemic is declared ended by appropriate authorities. Visit visa are intended for one-time travel with purpose, emergency or urgent work, business discussion, purchasing items, skill trial for foreign worker candidates, medical and food support, crew joining their ships in Indonesia territory. Limited stay visas are for the purpose of work as expert employee, joining a ship as crew, quality control on item or production, inspection or audit of branch office in Indonesia, work of after-sale activities, install or repair machine, non-permanent construction work, foreign candidate for work in Indonesia. Non-work, foreign investment, family reunion, elderly tourist, or retirement. Guarantors must apply for visit visas and limited stay visas for the Directorate General of Immigration with following documents. Guarantors must apply for visit visas and limited stay visas from the Directorate General of Immigration with the following documents: RT-PCR test certificate stating the applicant is free from COVID-19 in English from respective health authorities. The test certificate must contain a QR code. A vaccination certificate providing that the passenger has received a full dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Statement in English that the applicant is ready to be quarantined for a minimum of 8 days and or treated in quarantine at their own expenses if found positive COVID-19. Health authority at Indonesian entry point. Proof of health insurance and or statement letter that the applicant agrees to pay related expenses if affected by COVID-19. For visit visa applications, the applicant must enclose proof of a minimum 10,000 USD or equivalent found in an Indonesian bank for one guarantor. Digital e-visa, visit visas, and limited stay visa will be provided. Airlines can verify the visa through https://visa.immigration.go.id and enter the visa approval number or scanning QR code. E-visas number ending in DN will not be accepted for travel to Indonesia. Medical, food support personnel, and crew are exempted from the requirement to provide proof of funds. Foreigners holding expired limited stay permits or ITAS permanent stay permit or ITAP or re-entry permit currently abroad must apply for new visas to enter Indonesia. Diplomatic and official visa are regulated by Minister of Foreign Affairs. Foreign nationals can apply for a family reunion temporary stay visa index 317 provided they fall in the following categories: spouse of Indonesian citizens, temporary stay permit holder, or permanent stay permit holder. Children born to parents of foreign national and Indonesian citizens who have legally married. Children under 18 and never been married for foreign national and Indonesian parents who have legally married. Children under 18 and never been married intending to join their parents of temporary stay permit or permanent stay permit holders. Okay guys, that's all the latest update travel requirements to enter Indonesia. I really hope this information will help. Please regularly check the official website from Indonesian government for more details. See you in other video. Have a safe journey to Indonesia. Bye.